How old were you when you first went on stage?
I guess it all began when I was 8 years old. So prior to that, in school, I'd be running around the playground with fake microphones and fake guitars and just pretending that everywhere I was on a stage somewhere. It was such a serious dream to me that was ingrained since before I can remember, that I wanted to be on a stage and I wanted to do music or perform in some way. And so when I was 8, I decided to put together my first gig and make it a reality, and there I was in a village hall to 150 odd people. I invited my teachers, my friends' parents, everyone. And it was like a Meatloaf tribute concert, because that's all I listened to at the time. I haven't really stopped since then.
Did you vision, when you were that young, that you wanted to take your music all around the world?
Yeah, as far as I can remember. I can't remember it being anything else. I didn't care where I was, I just wanted to be on a stage. I was on a kind of a Caribbean trip, and we started out in the Bahamas, where I met some really, really interesting people out there. And I wrote and recorded a song out there, which has been shown to Lenny Kravitz and his guys, and they all love it. There's the guy that I met was called Chris Estes, and he was an inventor for some studio equipment. And he's done all sorts of other things, but he's friends with all these guys, and me and him just really clicked. He's produced with Aerosmith, Kiss, Lenny Kravitz, obviously he's a good friend of. To put me in up with those guys, I was just absolutely blown away and quite humbled by that, really.
You can't get much higher than that, really, can you?
No, it just keeps on getting better. So then that was the Bahamas, and then I went on to St Kitts and Nevis with Ben Waters, who's a piano player, one of the best piano players that I've ever seen. He's worked with the Rolling Stones, Jeff Beck, Cher, the list is endless. But we became friends over the last few years, and I think the first gig that I did with him was he invited me up to his 50th birthday party in the Half Moon in Putney in London, and he was kind enough to just ask me to play a couple of songs within the set, and there was a load of people there, and that's where I met Ronnie Wood from the Rolling Stones. He came along as well, and then later on in the year, I think it was a year later, he asked me to feature in his gig at the 100 Club and in London, and that was alongside Lola Lang, who's Roger Taylor's daughter. And it was just the most amazing night, and ever since then we've done loads of gigs together. He took me out to the Caribbean to do some gigs over there, kind of this like rock and roll holidays thing. But when I was out there, I met some other people. We had Francisco Santino, who's a bass player. He was in the band on the David Letterman show, toured with Aretha Franklin, and we really, really clicked, and we were jamming together. And it was kind of like every single night I couldn't stop myself but go out and find a gig. When I got to Nevis, there were about 2 or 3 people who just gave me their guitars to have and use for the whole of the 2 weeks, which was absolutely amazing. And so I was meeting one of the guys there, so he could give me this guitar and this PA system. And the manager came up, and we met at this restaurant, and the manager came up and said, "Well, what's going on?" And I said, "Oh, well, we're here with a bunch of people," and there's probably about 20 or 30 people that follow Ben and follow me, and they were kind of sat down in the restaurant. I said, "So I set up in the corner and maybe play a little bit?" And I did, and I was playing a Seal song, "Crazy" by Seal, and this guy walks over and goes, that's the best cover of the song that I've ever heard." And I said, "Wow, thank you very much." And then we got talking, and it transpired that he was Seal's tour manager in the 90s. Yeah.
Wow, so what a compliment.
Yeah, huge.
Massive compliment.
Yeah, absolutely.
It just shows you keep getting your guitar out all around the world, who's listening.
But that's just another example of music taking you everywhere around the world, and it's the universal language, I suppose, of anything. Everyone can dance to it, everyone can understand it. And there's something to be said about the amazing feeling of connection or uniting people from all over the place when you're a part of that, making that happen. Music's a healer. It just, it's amazing. If you're feeling a bit down or you're feeling just rough physically, put a song on. It's the best thing. Sometimes that it will at least get you the drive to get up and go.
Yeah.
I do a lot of gigs in the UK, obviously, and kind of a lot in Bournemouth when I lived there, and it's quite, people come in and out of Bournemouth because it's almost like a touristy town, and so I get invited out to Spain or France or Portugal, places like that, just to go out and do gigs in Europe, and like it goes back to saying what we were talking about, music takes you around the world. I just want to kind of be everywhere and do as many countries as possible, and because I find the culture differences really, really intriguing. But what I find warming is that it's the same language, music, everywhere I go. It will have different reactions, but everyone can understand, even if it's not in English or their native language or whatever. It's the music that people understand.
Not only is Chris Payn going around the world, you're going around the world with different genres of music.
Yeah, genre doesn't really matter to me, I guess. It's the same 12 notes. It's just dressed differently, It's the same thing inside.
Do you also play piano when you're travelling? Because I know you play piano and you play drums.
Yeah.
Any other instruments?
Well, I played trumpet when I was younger, but I didn't really stick to that,
You can't really sing, can you, when you're playing trumpet?
No, yeah, exactly that. But yeah, if they've got anywhere there's a piano, I'll be the first one to go and try it, or go and ask at least.
So then you made it to LA. I know you've been to LA 2 or 3 times now, haven't you?
Yeah.
And have they been spontaneous gigs?
We actually had something booked in, so it was in LA. We were just kind of soaking up the scene on the Sunset Strip. A lot of my favourite bands came from there. Bumblefoot was in Guns N' Roses for a while, and when I was in LA, I walked into the Whiskey A Go-Go on a Sunday afternoon, and he was there playing with Sebastian Bach, who's a great singer. And it actually transpires that one of my old drummers of the many Hightown Parade lineups was his drummer, and so he kind of already knew who I was, and I was a bit blown away by that.
You also met Joe Bonamassa, didn't you?
Yeah. So we walked into a really famous guitar shop there called Norman's Rare Guitars, and they got the most amazing guitars there. And I think I was playing like a really cheap Telecaster, because I like to play the cheap guitars sometimes. They're oversought a lot of the time, and this I was having a really good time on it. And then all of a sudden, from the other side of the room, Joe Bonamassa comes up to me with this is like a 1952 Les Paul, $70,000 worth, and he just asked me, "Hey, can you check this works?" So I did.
Wow, and was he going to buy it then, or?
Yeah, I think so. I think he bought it, yeah.
Harder than the other one?
It definitely works.
It also makes sound.
This is amazing.
That's all I care.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to go to all these places and tour. I want to get to the stage where I can go down to America and pull a few thousand people.
You did do something that was sponsored by Red Bull, didn't you?
Yes. Oh, yeah. That was so that was a band called Heaven's Basement, and somehow we got connected, and I got a message from the guitarist saying basically on the lookout for another singer. And so I went to Leicestershire and met up with them and spent a couple of days at their place, and again wrote and connected with music and recorded a few things, and did this gig out for the Red Bull Air Race in Austria over Spielberg. And yeah,
amazing.
It was hard actually, because I just left a rock band that I'd been with ever since I was 13, and you know, it was hard coming out. It was hard transitioning when you've been in a band with people for so long and grown up together. So when I left that band, I kind of just committed myself to going, well, I'll make a solo career out of this then, and I'll do everything kind of myself. So they offered for me to stay on, and it was a really tough decision to make, but I had to say no, because I just had a feeling that I was destined to do something and and identify myself as a solo artist.
I remember we were in the studio, Fraser studio, when you got the Heaven's Basement call.
Oh yeah.
And how difficult it was for you to make that decision.
Yeah.
You know, it was a really difficult decision, and I do remember that you were actually recording for Ashley Banjo. He was there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was there in the studio with you.
That's
Ashley right. from Diversity.
Yeah, I was doing some guitar work with Fraser, and I think some voice work as well.
You were, and it was an amazing. I remember, it was really, really amazing.
He's such a creative person, and again, really, really down to earth, and it's just an energy, you know. I mean, I love working with people as well. As much as I like to be a solo artist and get my own stuff out there, I have so much fun working with other people. And a lot of my songs are co-written with different people in different scenarios, you know.
There was another artist as well. We were at a festival and we were backstage, and it was the main stage, and I think it was Camp Festival.
Camp Festival, yeah, I remember this.
And we knew the DJ that was on the side of the stage, and I went up to him and I was like, we need to get Chris Payn on. And he was like, Alison Moyet is about to come on, we're setting up for Alison Moyet.
Yeah.
And I said to one of the guys setting up, and I went, plug this guitar in. And he was like, what am I doing? I said it'd be worth it, he's amazing, plug this guitar in.
Yeah.
And he plugged you in, and you went out there. You didn't have a mic.
I couldn't do anything. It was all just in the flow of the moment. But I didn't care. I just wanted to be on that stage. It was really hilarious. No one really knew what I was doing there, and I didn't either. But I just played guitar along to whatever the DJ was playing.
You
just
smashed it. You absolutely smashed it.
Yeah, that was about 20,000 people or something.
It was a lot of people.
I can't remember how many, but yeah.
I know it was thousands.
Yeah.
It was thousands.
That was a good moment.
I'm sure there's loads of other countries that you've travelled, but you've done
Well,
loads.
it gets to the point where so I mean, so sometimes you forget some of them because you get so many, but there's so many more, there's so much more that I can do. This is just, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I've only really just started. It's been a big, long practice run, and now I'm getting my own material together and getting things out there by myself in a really, really serious way, with only myself to rely on.
For sure, but you've done thousands and thousands and thousands of gigs, literally back to back. Sometimes you do like 2 gigs a day.
It could be three a day, you know, especially like in the summer seasons and stuff like that.
I don't actually know where you find the energy to do it all.
But the thing is, once you get on a stage, you feel so energised. It's like it's the highest of highs.
Yeah.
You know.
You go into a like trance.
Yeah.
It's you know, nobody's there, and it's just like such a buzz.
Mm.
What is your favourite gig? And I know you've got loads, but is there a specific gig in the UK that you totally loved?
There's been so many. There was a moment, a really good moment early on. I think I must have been 10 or 11, maybe 12, and this Dorset Rocks concert was happening. So basically, they got all these kids from different schools all in Dorset to put on a big gig at the Royal Albert Hall in London. And out of all the kids, I was the one who was chosen to sing "Let It Be" solo.
What age?
10 or 11.
10 or 11?
Yeah.
At the Albert Hall?
Yeah.
Oh my word.
And that was like a pinching moment. At the time, it was just like I felt like I was just walking into my bedroom. Like it just like I was just going out into that playground again and going into my own little dream world. But only this time it was just real. And we had a 150-piece orchestra, 400-piece choir. and I was the one that was picked to just basically sing a cappella. It's a buzz, you know. It never goes away. It never fades. Like over time, like I still get the same buzz as I did when I walked out on the stage when I was 8 years old. You know,
it's just incredible. It's happening so fast for you now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's and I've been ready for it for a while, and you know, it's that thing, you have to wait for the right time, and this is the right time to start releasing my own songs that I've produced myself and mixed myself and written myself or co-written with some amazing writers as well, and take it as far as it can go. And the best thing about it is that I've only got me to rely on. Like, having been in different bands and different lineups for the past 5 years, or maybe 7 years, and I've got a fantastic live band that goes out with me now. But as long as I'm there, it's going to be a Chris Payn gig, and if need be, I can do the gig by myself. It's not a problem. But to just have me to rely on and take it wherever I want to go is really, really exciting.
Do you think it's the belief in yourself now that you know is going to move you forward?
Definitely, yeah. I wasn't always confident in myself. I was confident enough to go out on stage and perform to people, but to take it to the next level requires a different level of confidence.
For sure, and you're ready for the ride.
Absolutely, yeah, I can't wait.
Where do you actually want to go with this music? Where is it going to take you? What is your vision?
Well, the way I look at it now is, you know, I went from playground to stage, and now I've done that for about 20 years. It's time to take it from that to stadiums, touring all around the world. You know, I want to be like Taylor Swift size mega.
You've met so many people on your journey, haven't you?
Yeah, you never know who you're going to meet. It's from all different kind of walks of life.
It's really mind-blowing.
Yeah.
But also really exciting.
So exciting.
So I look forward to hearing more.
Absolutely.
Closer to closing, we'll be right.